Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I want to do a short review of a pen. The pen is from Ensso. Now Ensso is an American-based pen manufacturing company. They make nice minimalist pens, all those kinds of things. I've reviewed a couple in the past. The Italia was a particular joy for me. And so they put out a new model of a pen on Kickstarter, and it was this. This is the Ensso Piuma Pocket. This is the box it comes in, of course, not the actual pen. The pen is here. So this is the Piuma Pocket. Now, this is the brass version. It comes also in a black aluminium or a titanium version, using really high quality sort of materials like this. Brass is lead free and all of that kind of stuff. This is obviously the smaller version of the larger Piuma pen, but the idea being that when you put this pen together into its sort of desired form, it copies the lines and the shape of the Piuma quite nicely. I think this looks a lot like a bullet. I think it's quite simple, elegant, normal, typical of Ensso. A little bit of branding just there on the front. Threads for posting. It's simple, it's small, but it packs a lot of punch, and it actually is quite a heavy pen. So let's run through the parts features. I'll do a writing sample, talk about pros and cons. So let's start. So firstly, the top is just the simple dome of that bullet-shaped cone, which swells out to the middle band of the cap there. You get a little barrel and then these threads that are for posting the pen. It unscrews and reveals a really nice full brass section and a Bock stainless steel nib. I have it in, I think it's a medium from memory. And it's really simple. You then take the cap, you've got those brass threads in the inside there, and you screw that on the end there, and what you get is a pretty good size pen. Like, it's actually a very comfortable size pen in the hand. It weighs a lot, this brass version. Obviously, the titanium and aluminium versions would weigh less. This brass version weighs 67 grams, so it's hefty in the hand. But you feel that when you write with it, that actually that weight is actually quite nice. So it's got a Bock stainless steel nib there, and then a plastic section. It's a really simple pen. Like, there's not a whole lot to it. And that's kind of the point with Ensso and the minimalist pens. And there's no clip or roll stop, so it will roll away from you. You unscrew it to reveal where you would put the cartridge. It does not take a converter. It is a very small section. I couldn't find a converter that fit this at all. Maybe the Kaweco squeeze one, but I just don't like them. I prefer to use a cartridge and to refill it. And this is just a generic... it comes with a cartridge, but this is just a generic black ink cartridge that I've put in it since. The pen is brass, so it will patina. This has patina. I have cleaned it up a little bit just for the the video here, but you can see marks of that sort of patina and the hand oils and all that kind of stuff that take just that sort of shine off the pen. So let's talk a couple of size comparisons first while we're here. Now, we have the Ensso, which is not a big pen. The one I wanted to compare it to particularly was well, actually first let's show like the standard pocket pen. Like, one that's best known, most loved, is the Kaweco Sport. So you can see in terms of size there, it's shorter than the Kaweco Sport. And the one I wanted to show it alongside was the Sean Design Pocket 6. Now, I wanted to show it alongside this because they both have number 6 size nibs, which is fairly rare, although it is becoming more common now that other brands are using a number 6. So, like, for instance, the Gravitas Pens Pocket will use a number 6 size nib as well. So, but this is the three I have here, just for size. Let's see them now posted in their desired sort of format. There's no point in even looking at these pens unposted because, well, that is very small. Like, you wouldn't want to write with it like that. Maybe to tick a few things off a shopping list or whatever the case may be, but for sort of general sort of everyday writing use, you would definitely post all three of these pens. And there we have the Sean Design Pocket 6. So you can see it measures up very nicely. It's a little longer than the Sean Design. Both use a number 6 size nib, as I said. It's about the same length of body as the Kaweco Sport, but that extra length on the nib makes a big, big difference. All very comfortable pens in the hand when they are posted, and all very comfortable, for, everyday writing use or quick note taking or whatever the case may be. But what sets the Ensso apart in this selection also is the fact that it weighs considerably more because of that brass material. For the sake of the exercise, here is a Lamy Safari unposted, so you can just get a sense of the length, and then if we post it, you see it is dwarfed by the Lamy Safari, but still a very, very sort of handy size. So let's talk about the specs here of the Ensso Piuma Pocket. It is 92 millimeters long when it is capped. Good small size pen, great for your pocket, great for your, your purse or handbag or whatever the case may be. When it is posted, it is 140 millimeters. So a really, really good size in the hand. And of course, because it's got that smooth step down off the cap onto the barrel, there's nothing rubbing on anything. Now, where you hold it, you've got a big section here. It's quite a decent length section, and the grip, it's around sort of like the 12 millimeter mark there where you hold it. It means you don't have to go back onto those threads or onto that step down. They are smooth, and that step down is not too sharp. It's not particularly big step down, but there's enough section there to hold it. And of course, with that number 6 nib, the distance between your fingers and the paper is absolutely very comfortable. Now, I said this pen weighed a lot, as I think I said it's 67 grams, which makes it about the weight of like 3 Lamy Safaris. So it is a heavy pen. There's no denying the weight of this pen. So one of the things, you talk about with Ensso, which actually is quite surprising, is the price. So this pen retails for $89 US, which in comparison to something like a Kaweco Sport is getting up there in price. But you are getting a metal pen from a smaller manufacturer. They do much more limited runs than something like Kaweco would. But also what you're getting beautiful workmanship, nice materials, simple design, a number 6 size nib. It doesn't take a converter, but it does take a cartridge, and it is standard international. So, it is fairly, good. But it's not the cheapest pocket pen on the market. But in pocket pens in this style, I actually think the price is pretty good. Let's do a writing sample now with the Ensso Piuma Pocket. So what we have is and as I said, this is the brass. Has a Bock steel nib. I think I got this in the medium. It doesn't actually say anywhere. So the ink is just a generic black ink cartridge. Not sure what brand or anything this is. It just came out of my drawer. So the nib is nice. I've had no issues with this nib. No issues with hard starts, no issues with, skipping or anything like that. It's smooth, but typical of Bock, it's not that buttery smooth. It's not, I wouldn't say it's feedback. It's just this is Clairefontaine paper, so it's very smooth. And you still feel like you feel the nib on the page, which I find is very typical of Bock nibs, and they're not necessarily sort of like the wettest nibs. But very, very pleasant writing. Writes well under its own weight. It's just a pretty decent sort of everyday writing pen, which is what you'd want from a pocket pen. Reverse writing is, possible, but not great. It's a stiff nib, so you're not going to get line variation or anything. You just let down a little bit more ink, but as I said, this pen, it's a pocket pen. It is designed, to be carried in your pocket, to be an everyday writer, if you will. And I actually think this does a very, very good job in that field because it's not super wet. It's, it's got a decent sort of line width, so it's not sort of too broad or too fine. It's a good middle ground. And so I think that actually works out very, very nicely for this pen. So let's talk pros and cons for the Ensso Pocket. The only con I really have is that, for me, the balance of the pen just doesn't quite feel right in any, like when it's posted, and that's the only way you can really write with this pen. The brass cap does actually weigh quite a lot, and you feel that weight in the back of your hand. Now, the overall weight is 67 grams, of course, and this is the only way you're sort of going to write with that pen. But with that little bit of weight in the back there, you do feel that weight. So for me, I would have, anyone who's watched these reviews of mine before knows that I enjoy a pen where the weight is sort of leading down to the nib. This is more evenly weighted, and you do feel that sort of extra bit of the balance there on the back of your hand. It's the only con. The pros for this pen are, there's a lot of them, it's got a Bock nib. It's a number 6 nib, so you're getting a really good solid writing experience. The section is really nice. That the width of that section and the shape of it is really comfortable. It's not slick. It's not too, it's not slippery in any way. It works really, really well. The finishing on the pen is amazing. The quality of the threads and the fit of everything is so typical of Ensso. They really, really nail that across their line. The finishing on these pens for the price is unbelievable. And once again, that price, let's talk about it. $89 US. It's not too bad. You're getting a good writing pen and a pen that's going to last a long time, that has a good nib, all of that kind of stuff. So I actually think the price is fairly appropriate for this pen, and typical of where it sits in the market. The other pro for me, and this is something that's very personal, is the fact that this pen patinas. Now, I particularly noticed patina on the body of the pen and on the section, of course, and I sort of cleaned them up a little bit, but there's still a few marks of, bits and pieces of where, we get some hand oils and all those kinds of things. It's just I love brass as a material for fountain pens. I think it becomes personal, and it shows your life on it and all of that. So for me, that is a big pro of a pen like this. So this was the Ensso Piuma Pocket Fountain Pen. This was a Kickstarter project, now available on their website. So check it out. Check out Ensso. If you're not familiar with the brand, I think you really should be. They make really, really cool pens. Primarily metal, the Puma, the Italia, and of course the Puma Pocket here, as well as a few ballpoint pens and things like that. So check them out. If you've got questions or comments, leave them in the comments below, or get in touch with me on any of the social media platforms I have listed below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel by sponsoring a review or providing an item for review, I would love to hear from you. I purchased this pen myself from Ensso, but Ensso have supported this channel in the past by providing items, so I thank them for that. But yeah, if you've got products you think I should be looking at, let me know. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.